Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that float back. What I'm saying, top 3, I'm not number 1. How can you post that? I would have crowned the city is mine, you cannot hold that. I'm not the one to go at. Meet Joe Black. What I'm saying, people saying what's already been said. Predictions, I don't listen, it's already in my head, no funny. Your most hungry place, I was past that at 28. Underground tapes, as my ass capped and publisher states. As we slide in the G-Ride, I've been getting criticized, it's keeping me energized. Create with a business.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jackson looking to throw right away. That'll be complete to Dobbins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And space tough to come by there as he'll give maybe a yard to the 37. The Ravens at 4-7 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. This defense for the Broncos, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
They're looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup of 38.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd and goal, Jackson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 43. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Hey!
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Here's Jackson to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Bradley Chubb racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
That was the kind of play that this defense needed because it has not been a good half for them on that side of the football. Maybe they can use that one to regroup a little bit and start to play a little bit better.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 16. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. And this is taken in by Hamler for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. McManus's point after is good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Jackson now. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead's down to 24. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Takes it at the 7. And he returns this to the 22. The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 22. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action. It's Wilson. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. That's complete. It's Okuwebunam. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They go play action with Wilson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Play action. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late.
He's got a man, complete. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They'll get 34 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They go play action with Jackson. Rolling to his right. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Play action. Now Jackson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They go play action now. Jackson. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. They'll try to draw here with Dobbins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore 1st. Dobbins trying the left side. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Jackson. That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Ravens are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They go play action now. Wilson toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Davion Taylor gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Wilson. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now it's Wilson. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, I think that the folks here hope that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Well, Lamar Jackson, for all the talents of escaping pressure that he possesses, he was helpless to do much of anything there. He had no chance. To try again after the sack. Jackson, they'll roll him out right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think you can easily follow the thinking there. The pressure on the last play, and that got to him. So they decided, let's get him out of there, bootleg him out to the right. Unable to complete the pass downfield. But the thought process, spot on.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Play action. It's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
On 3rd down, Wilson to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quan Williams. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Draymond Jones in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now a give up the middle to Williams. Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
2nd and 4.
Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. But with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Michael O.J. Mudia
able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Broncos, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the playoffs look to be out of reach now as they drop to 4-8.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.